Hi, I'm Raylene, and welcome to Khaleesi Clues. Today's video, I will be discussing a scene from House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 4, titled Tumbleton. This is just a quickie with Khaleesi Clues, in which I will be discussing some possible hidden clues and what I believe they represent. Looking for clues that are hidden within these episodes, trying to figure them out, and then sharing them with you is my favorite thing to do. Please be aware that there may be spoilers if you are not familiar with the entire story that has been published in the books. So let's get started. Scene 1, The Rabbit. The episode starts off with a rabbit foraging through the brush with Tumbleton seen in the distance. The rabbit, of course, plays off of Rhaenyra's line from the previous episode where she suggested to allow hunting rabbits in the Kingswood. At the time when she said it, I thought it was rather awkward that she would be so unaware of the fact that it is considered theft for common folk to hunt on the crown's property, especially since she was raised there at the castle and her father seemed to enjoy hunting. He even asked her to join the hunt for the White Hart in Season 1. After she stumbled through that suggestion, Corlys mentioned that they would discuss the matter later. But they never did, at least not on screen, that is. So seeing this random rabbit made me think that this is possibly a clue or some other type of symbolism going on here. So this is what I came up with. I'm pretty sure the rabbit is symbolism for Ormund Hightower, who is mentioned in the first few lines by the soldier and is seen bathing shortly after. The rabbit symbolizes multiple things, some good and some bad. There are a few things that stood out to me that I believe tie in with Ormund. One thing being, as swift and vulnerable prey animals, they also represent alertness, adaptability, and quick thinking, which I believe Ormund has already proven by tricking Daemon and giving him a fake Daeron. Not to mention, he has now taken Tumbleton. The second part that I believe ties in with this character is the cleverness and magic that the rabbit is symbolic of. It's said that Native American storytelling often features the rabbit as a clever trickster who uses intelligence to outsmart larger predators. In this case, I believe that larger predator just happens to be Rhaenyra and her dragons. The third thing that I thought may also tie in with the rabbit symbolizing Ormund ties in when Rhaenyra suggested allowing rabbits to be hunted in the Kingswood, which I mentioned from the previous episode. So I tried to see the map that she was looking at once she heard the news that Tumbleton had been taken, but it didn't really show anything. I did find an image of a map that showed the location of King's Landing, the Kingswood, and Tumbleton all together. It looks as if Tumbleton is located right on the edge of the Kingswood. If that is the case, then it places Ormund, the symbolic rabbit, located basically in the Kingswood. That also ties in with the scene of the trees that had been cut down and were being dragged by the men towards Tumbleton. It is my guess that they are chopping down the trees located there in the Kingswood. And lastly, Alicent told Rhaenyra one of the strangest characteristics that she remembered of her cousin Ormund, and that is his strong sensitivity to smells. Lo and behold, it states that, yes, rabbits have an incredibly strong and highly sensitive sense of smell, possessing around 100 million scent receptors in their noses. Their olfactory ability is up to 20 to 100 times more powerful than humans, making them extremely susceptible to strong chemicals, perfumes, and airborne irritants. Sounds like Ormund is going to give Rhaenyra a run for her money here in the coming episodes. I agree with Daemon. You should have burned them all while you had the chance. Scene number 2. Ormund's bathtub scene. I was listening to Tony Teflon earlier this week, and he was comparing how Ormund was similar to the Lannisters. I have to agree. He looks similar to the Lannisters, and his bathtub scene totally made me think of Brienne and Jaime's bathtub scene. When Jaime Lannister upset Brienne while they were bathing, she immediately stood up, naked as a jaybird, to let him know that he had crossed the line with her and she was not going to put up with it anymore. Inspired by the famous Brienne scene, Ormond has a little bit of a role reversal and the same reaction when Lady Footly crosses the line and calls Rhaenyra the Queen. Don't look now, Lady Footly. You might see that Ormond is standing on business here with that statement. As he dries off ever so slowly, he regains his calm demeanor, but be aware, Lady Footly, that Ormond just symbolically was swinging his sword right at you. That could be foreshadowing for future events. I find it very hard, pun intended, to believe that he will ever let her get away with that statement. More bad news for Ormond comes when he receives a message from Lord Boros Baratheon, in which Ormond orders another message be sent back to Boros, this time with drawings to help him understand. I just have to ask, was anybody else out there thinking what I was thinking? I'll give you one guess of what drawing Lord Boros is going to receive. Ormond's sword, of course. It's such a trend nowadays. Later in the episode, Hugh the Hammer's wife, Cat, is attacked by one of the Hightower soldiers. We knew this was coming because he had eyes on her from the start. Everyone was brought forward to address the matter with Ormond. Surprisingly, he rightfully punishes his soldier, and it is assumed that the problem has been resolved. But again, we are dealing with a very smart and tricky rabbit. By the end of the episode, Ormond shows exactly what type of lord he is by bringing Cat's brother back in to be punished for striking a Hightower soldier. He orders Daeron to kill Cat's brother, and sadly, Daeron does as he is told. Although from what we know so far about Daeron, he seems like a perfect angel. But that scene worries me, and how Ormond's upbringing may affect Daeron in the future. There may be an unexpected turn in his character in the future, where he becomes just as bad as Aemond and Aegon have progressed into. We will have to wait and see how the writers choose to play it all out. Last thing I wanted to ask is, does anyone else think that Cat will be the next person called to face Ormond? I just feel as if Ormond is going to conveniently find out that Cat just happens to be the wife of Hugh the Hammer, the same guy sitting outside Tumbleton's gates with a really big dragon, Vermithor. And when I say conveniently finds out, I 100% mean that Mysaria is going to let one of her people know to get the information to Ormond. If this happens, I think we are going to see an Ormond scene inspired by Cersei Lannister, with Cat getting the Missandei treatment while Hugh watches. If that happens, Hugh will lose control of his anger, and he's sitting on a firebomb. Would this push him into burning Tumbleton? Love is the death of duty. I hope you all have enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are all having a wonderful day.